Hi everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Daily Endeavours for Thursday the 11th of September. Sorry for the delay on this one. I tried to do this on EU to try and get it done earlier, but EU is fucked for me right now. It takes, not kidding, 10 minutes to travel from one zone to the other. Apparently there's some shit on the forums about how it's affecting other people, so I don't think it's just me. But yeah, I have to do everything on NA for the moment just because it is impossible for me to do this quickly on fucking EU right now. Anyway, so this set is not great anyway. I would go dual seams, dining room furnishings. Even then, this one's a pain to start with. And a heist if you've got Thieves Guild. If you don't, either of these options aren't great. I'd say killing a player is quicker, but it can be pretty unreliable. Completing a trial requires you to find a lot of people to work together to do these. I'll put these like later in the video. I'll go into a bit of detail into like getting into these and how to like what the important things to look for, but doing them themselves is, I don't want this video taking fucking ages, so I'm just gonna explain the stuff that you need to know, and then you can kind of just bash your head against the wall and eventually you'll get it done like in 5 or 10 minutes most of the time. So yeah, I'll just trust that the people can just use that information. Anyway, so without further ado, we'll start with dining furnishings. This is the worst of the furnishings ones to start with. Once you've got a single dining furnishing, it's fine from there. So firstly, if you don't have a house yet, you can get one for free if you come to this location here in Volkagard in Addon. So this Weishan is given to you by default, so you can travel here anytime. Where this house is located, there is an NPC. If you talk to this NPC and start the quest, talk to her, and eventually you'll complete a quest with her. There is a free house that'll pop up here if you don't have it yet. Once you complete this quest, that's all there is to it. You just talk to her for a bit, and there are 3 houses available. If you go to the map section, go to the houses tab here. The houses that you have available now will show up as in the collected section. You'll either have the Rosy Lion, Ebony Flask Inn Room, or Mara's Kiss Public House. These are the 3 alliance houses that you get. So if you do this on 3 different characters from 3 different alliances, you'll have all 3. And I think it's worth doing because aside from the extra room that you'll get for having these 3 houses, aside from one, they can be in some places that can be handy. Like for example, the one in Stonefalls is in Ebonheart, which there's other endeavors in the future, for example here, that can be helpful to have access to these places in the long run. Now's the annoying bit. That's the easy bit, unfortunately. The annoying bit is finding a dining furnishing to use. So let's go through the options. To be familiar with the 4 types of items that will come up as dining furnishings, not everything with these words in it will count as one, but if you just type in these in a guild store, you can find dining furnishings in them. So go into here and just, for example, type in chair. And if you just search this, we'll go furnishings just to make sure. You can see there's all 3 of these are dining. So when you look at the item link, so you see it at the top left, it says furnishing, dining, chairs. As long as the second line says dining, that'll be an item that works. Now, as you can see here, unfortunately, all of these options here most of them are going to be quite expensive. But this is the quickest way, just buying one of these for a bunch of gold. But yeah, most of these will be like 5 figures, 4 figures if you're lucky. There might be a few items, but as you can see here, some of these are expensive. So that's not as expensive as the rest. And then you can just go through and just keep looking all the different types. So just be careful. These are parlor ones, so they wouldn't work. You've got the druidic table that'd work. So yeah, just try and look around a bunch of busy guild stores maybe, and just check the 4 words there in the item name, and just make sure you check all the dining stuff available. The second option is to go to any carpenter in the game. In Deshan, you can find one just here. For example, we'll just talk to this one. If you go into any of the carpenter's stores, you'll find this blueprint for a common table slanted. This is a dining furnishing. The ingredients is the main issue. So pitch is pretty cheap. They're about 15 gold each, so you can buy 9 pitch for like 150 gold. Usually they're in full stacks though, so you will spend a little bit of gold on that. Nickel is really easy because you can just buy 5 nickel here. Because yeah, there's no limit to how many of these you can buy from from carpenters. So that's a fine one. The biggest problem is going to be the heartwood. So in order to get a bunch of this, you either need to go out and cut some logs of wood, and they have a chance to give you heartwood. Now, today with the dual seams one being an option, it's probably fine just to go out and cut some logs of wood while you're doing the dual seams one. So yeah, it's not a big deal as much, but it's a chance. It's not guaranteed from every logs of wood that you find. It's a chance. And yeah, the other way is to buy them from guild stores. You want to do that for pitch, or if you have a little bit of leveling up in woodworking, you can use the hirelings. It's none for. Hold on. Is to use the lumberjack hireling. Unfortunately, you need to wait a bit before the hireling is up if you've just used this perk. But if in the future, anytime dining finishing ones come up, if you want to do this in the long run, you can use this to get a bunch of pitch. Because yeah, you'll just slowly get upgrade materials from hirelings over time. Or you can just go to guild stores here, and just like furnishings, you can just go materials, woodworking, resin, and just go pitch. I mean, you don't have to look at pitch itself, but you might have to search a few. Oh my god, 30 gold each? That is way more than... Sorry, that's way more than I thought it would be. But yeah, 10 of those, 300 gold, it will likely be a lot cheaper than buying a dining room furnishing outright, if you can do it this way. But it's just, yeah, getting the heartwood. Because if you try and buy these on a guild store, it's fucking expensive. So if I go furnishing... see if there's any heartwood here. Yeah, so you can see 450 gold each on average. And normally they're bought or sold in like big stacks, so you'll be spending a fucking lot of money on that. And that at this point, it would just be cheaper getting a dining furnishing. So yeah, if you can find a couple, just like a few on a guild store, that'd be great. But yeah, it's uncommon that you'll find that case. Now you do have a third option. If you go to the purchase tab in your housing menu, go down to dining, you can actually buy dining furnishings here. Now, if you want the absolute cheapest item that you can get, it's 20 crowns. It's this Argonian chair here. So if you just care about doing this endeavor, you can buy one of these Argonian chairs and just place it on the floor. You only need one. Once you've got that one dining furnishing, you just place it somewhere, and whenever this endeavor comes up, you can just do it. So let me show you what I usually do. So I've got this table here. So let me just pick it up to show you. So this dining table works. If you've got this house, Sea Bloom Villa, you'll be able to do this because it comes with this dining furnishing. If you do want to check if your house has a dining furnishing, just go to retrieve, and if it shows up, it'll be in dining somewhere here. Yeah, so I've got a dining furnishing here. So normally from your inventory, you just go place and you put it on the ground, and then you on the bottom left, you'll see it says undo. You just hit that key and do redo as well. If you just pick it up and like left click spam to pick it up and place it, it doesn't work because it has to come from your inventory before it be able to register for the furnishings endeavors. And it's the case for every single furnishing type. So in the future, if you get this endeavor again, what you want to do is from where it is now, you just pick it up, put it away, undo, redo, undo, and that way it'll be on the ground again. So whenever the endeavor comes up, just come in and do the same thing. Because yeah, otherwise if you just try and pick it up and place it, spam it, it doesn't work. Time to mine jury seams. Now, despite what the Endeavor tooltip says, you don't need Somerset to actually mine these. It's just to be able to use them. So you can still do this in base game. Don't worry. It's fucking lying. Before you do this Endeavor, just you want to be familiar with the types of seams that you can find, and you want to be familiar with how to know which one's spawned for you. Because it's a 50-50 split between two things. So go to jewelry crafting here. If you don't see this, you'll get pewter as a 50% chance here. But if you just hover over this, it'll tell you which one here. The other one is based on your level. So if we go to this this thing here, these are the 5 types. So this is the one you get if you don't have if you don't have Somerset, you'll find this. And then the other one's based on your character level. So if you check your level here, so for example, if you're level 50, if you're level 30, you'd get copper jewelry because it's or copper dust, because it's between 26 to 50. So yeah, just check this as well, just to know. If you're max level, you'll get platinum, and yeah, it just depends on your crafting level. So if you scroll over this, normally it works. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. So it will give you an image of what the node type looks like. So if you just scroll over each one, you'll know them. Like, you'll know what each node type looks like. I don't know why it's not showing me here. But this is what every single one of that node type looks like. So that is what every single silver node looks like. So once you've seen that, you've seen them all. So just, yeah, worth taking a look at those. Oh yeah, also, every spot that a jury node can spawn is shared with the blacksmithing spot, or ore spots. These don't actually count for the Endeavor, so you can mine them, because they do give you good stuff. They do give you platinum, they do give you jury dust as well, but even though they do sometimes, that still doesn't count. It's kind of annoying, but yeah, it's just how it is. Now, this can be very quick, but sometimes it can take a while because you'll just keep getting blacksmithing ore spawns. Now, I have no idea if it actually helped, but I think if you mine the ore nodes, it can cause other jury nodes to spawn somewhere else. But those could also be ore nodes. I don't know. Oh yeah, there's another one. But yeah, just basically pick a zone, run in a straight line for a while, and you'll probably find some jewel themes after a while. You'll find other stuff too. Now, Craglorn is a bit of a weird case, because Craglorn gives you something called Nerncrux. So there's two types. I don't know if I've got any in my... Oh yeah, I do. So this is one. The other one is Fortified Nerncrux, which I don't have. But this is the good shit. This is the really expensive stuff. So farming a Craglorn to do this endeavor is what I would do, because you can get the stuff. It's very rare, but you can get it. And this stuff is really helpful for researching, for making some gold, or for using in some weapons. I actually use Nernhode in a lot of my stuff in dual wield, so yeah. So a couple other things. This is Harvest Map. This is the stuff showing up on the map here. I'll link this add-on in the description if you want to have a look. But every time you find a node of some kind, it shows on the map. And you can also filter out stuff. Like, for example, I've got these things disabled, just so you can look for one specific thing. And that way you can just follow a path that you've used before, and just see if there's any more nodes that you can grab here. Yeah, I use this a lot to do my farming runs anytime endeavors come up. If you want to take a look at this yourself, I'll let you take a moment to screenshot this. Alright, there's the last one. Okay. One last thing to talk about is jury surveys. So with surveys, they give you 5 jury nodes, or 6 jury nodes, guaranteed, that are only available to you. So these are a great guaranteed source. The only way to get these yourself is to do jury crafting writs. It's a 12% chance regardless of which jury crafting writ that you do. So even if you're level 1 in jury crafting, it's still 12% chance. So it's low, but it's not. It's the same for everyone. So my advice is, like, in the future, just do surveys every now and then. Do writs every now and then, just to get some surveys in your inventory if you want to do these quickly. Otherwise, yeah, sometimes it can take a while. Yeah, I prefer using surveys themselves for the survey endeavors, but I just don't do surveys much anymore. Sorry, I don't do writs too much anymore anyway. Alright, next up is a heist. So, requires the Thieves Guild DLC. If you don't have this DLC, tough luck, you can't do this one. It also requires a fair bit of progressing through the main questline in his vein to get access to it. You need to complete the long game. Normally, I'd say it will take you a few hours, unless you're like really good at anything crime related. Yeah, I don't know. It's taken me quite a while, so yeah, just be mindful of that. Once you've completed this, though, you can start doing the heist, and it only takes a few minutes to do heist usually. My advice here, if you want to just do this as efficiently as possible, just fucking ignore the stealth mechanics here and just rambo through it. Otherwise, you're wasting time, basically. You can do the secondary objective, which is like basically to not run out of the timer, which goes down if you get spotted. which happens all the fucking time, basically. Yeah, I just, regardless of the extra objective though, I suggest just running straight through and just looting everything that you need to loot, and then just leaving and not worrying about the actual doing all the stuff. Because in my personal opinion, this is biased, but I think the Thieves Guild skill line is like worth nothing. So getting the XP to get that stuff and getting the rewards after, like the rewards are nothing special either. Like they're super underwhelming. So I personally just believe it's not worth worrying too much about it and just rushing through. Now, bonus points if you've got a cloak build or a vampire with sprint, like a vampire sprint build, because then you can just rush straight through and go invisible past enemies. It doesn't work for all the enemies, mind you, but it does work for most. So yeah, it's pretty good for that. If you sprint into a wall with your vampirism build, it'll allow you to go invisible without having to run past people. So everything is here. Holy shit. Watch this space. Still early days, but I might just be able to do this whole thing quick in the time given. Right, so yeah. The main issue will be there's enemies that can see you through invisibility. When you're stealth, they have like a big blue circle around them, so you won't miss them. Now what you can do instead, if you don't give a shit, is you can just kill all the enemies in your way. That's what I mean, you can just fucking Rambo through. It does not matter. If you look at the top right, I know it's the minimap's in the way, but this is the timer you have. So that's indicative if you'll get the best reward or not. Yeah, it's just opening a few chests. That was really lucky. Everything was in the first few rooms. Don't fall down there though, whatever you do. Okay, so I think that's the... Yeah, there's like a boss that you can fight. It's basically like a public dungeon boss. They're not that strong. So, yeah, they'll put a pretty significant shield on himself at the start, but once the shield's gone, they start dying pretty quick. So heal. Yeah, not that bad. And yeah, we've still got 3 minutes. I got very lucky there. Yeah, that's my advice. Just Rambo fucking through it. Sometimes you'll get, like, there are different heists. One is like pick up some bags of gems. You don't have to lockpick anything, but there's more gem bags that you have to pick up, so it can take longer. Yeah, so bonus objective done. We got the purple reward. How about that? Yeah, even if you don't get this reward though, it really, I don't think it matters. Like the rewards are shit all. Like you get a Thieves Guild motif, 10 grand. You can make that from Ritz. Like not a big deal. Leniency edicts can be good. Some of the items that you can get of Survivor's Scales, Baraha's Curse isn't great. Aside from the traps thing, that's nice. Yeah, Survivor's Scales, it's like a niche PvP build that you can use with this. But yeah, as you can see by the sale average there, not much, and I doubt you'll sell that stuff anyway, aside from anything other than like deconstruction material. There are very specific items that are really expensive, like heavy armor's expensive apparently, but yeah, I haven't really seen much that's like worth anything anyway. And you got a couple of items that you can sell for a bit of gold. Personally, I just think doing something like Ritz is probably better anyway, but yeah, the option is there. But yeah, my advice, just fucking Rambo through it as quick as you can. Alright, so with regards to killing a player in Cyrodiil, there is one important thing you need to know. You don't have to kill them yourself. As long as... So, say you find a player, you tap them a bunch of times with your weapon, and then they go off somewhere, and someone else kills them, it'll still count for you. It's basically a takedown a player. It's like kill or assist, it doesn't matter. So I think that information is really good, because that means basically you can just find a bunch of people, run around with them, go to an objective, one player gets killed by the bunch of you, all assisting each other. That's it. It's endeavor done. And that's what I suggest you do, because I assume if you're watching this video, you're not familiar with PvP that much, and you want to know how this stuff works. That's my suggestion. Don't, unless you're like experienced in PvP, don't try to kill one yourself, because it's not easy. Players are smart. They'll run away. They'll move around. They'll heal. But let me just go through some things that might help. Firstly, try and get yourself a ranged weapon. The reason for this is the further away you can just start smacking them from, the better. The best thing for this is a restoration staff. The reason for this is restoration staves have their projectiles travel really, really fast. So basically, the moment you left click or light attack, whatever it is, by the time you left click and like on a player, the beam will come out and it'll hit them. So you're basically like immediately hitting them with that. Also, if you're not familiar with PvP, running like a healer build with a restoration staff can be really good because you can just go around healing people, and it can also be good for you because I find it's not too bad to try and like survive and heal the shit out of yourself, as it is to try and actually get a kill on someone. I find that's way harder myself. But yeah, maybe that's just me. But yeah, that's my advice there. Next, don't come into Cyrodiil with a fucking PvE damage dealer build and have like 20,000 health. You will die faster than you can say, oh shit, someone's attacking me. Like, the fucking burst in PvP is like really powerful for some players, man. They are ridiculous. So you want to have at least, I would say, 30 to 35,000 health so you can react to incoming damage in PvP. You want to have a lot of crit resistance. I don't know much here, but that's because I have a build that... Oh yeah, I took off Rallying Cry, idiot. I'll put that back on. Yeah, so that's what I have there. So a bit more crit resistance with that. I can get that too. But yeah, there's other ways to buff your crit resistance. Do that somehow, because crit is a big thing in PvP. It's some builds just like, for example, mine runs crit damage. It's an important thing in PvP. Maybe not as important as it used to be, but yeah, it's still a thing that you want to at least invest into in some way. Other than that, buffs are everything in PvP too. Like things that increase your healing done, things that increase your damage, reduce your damage taken. These can all be really good. So major resistances, all that shit, really helps. Also blocking, surprisingly good in PvP. If you can see someone getting like an ultimate ready on you, like someone puts a meteor on your feet, just fucking block, and you'll reduce a lot of that damage. And for that reason, also increase your stamina too. You don't want to be like magic damage dealer with like 12k stamina. Trust me. I would go into more detail, but like, one, I'm not a PvP expert, and two, I don't want this video coming out in like fucking 12 AM. Like I want this video to come out at a good time. Otherwise, people are gonna like have half a day to do the bloody endeavors, and then they reset. So it's not great. Yeah, I will also link some stuff in the description where there's this person I personally watch for like understanding stuff. I think it's Malcolm X ESO. I don't know what they call themselves, but they have a website, and they have like a basic like a beginner guide for like understanding how PvP works. I'll put that in the description too if you want to have a look. But basically, go get lots of health, have lots of healing, get like a ranged weapon and just like tap players as soon as you see them, and just stay with a group, heal them and heal yourself, and just as soon as you get focused, heal yourself and roll dodge. Also line of sight's really good. If players can't hit you, they can't kill you, so line of sight's really good too. But yeah, PvP's it's exciting, but it's very unreliable, I find. So try to do the other options if you can first, I find. Also, do Alliance Locked. That's usually the most busy campaign. It depends though. Like if the populations are locked here, usually standard is the next most busy, and then standard no CP is the next busy. Yeah, obviously, if you're below level 50, you can try this one too. I'd find it's not as busy either. Alliance Locked is usually where you want to go. But yeah, also understand if you have low champion points, you'll get rolled over very quick too in PvP, because yeah, some people, they've just got max PP, and there's a lot of stuff you can invest here. Alright, and then the last option we've got is completing a trial. Now, this one is going to take a while. Usually, just finding a group to do trials takes a while, and then doing the trial itself, like, this will be the longest. There is no doubt about that. If you want to find a trial to do, probably the best way is to go Group Finder into Trial and have a look here. So you can see there's a NSO Quick Run. So this is normal Sanctum Ophidia. So let me just bring up something that will help. Right. So this is all the trials in the game available right now. These are the abbreviations. These are usually what you'll find in Group Finder, just to know what you're looking for. And then these are the DLC that they require. As you can see by the orange, a lot of them require you to pay some sort of money. Now, if I were to choose the quickest one, I'd say Cloud Rest, normal Cloud Rest. It's called +0, but you kill the 3 mini bosses on their own, and then you kill the main boss afterwards. That takes about 15 to 10 minutes. But yeah, it depends on the group. Sometimes if people don't do the portal phase and the final boss, sometimes you can reset and it fucking takes more. Yeah, Cloud Rest is quick. Ethereum Archive's probably the quickest base game one. Other than that, I'd say the next quickest would be Asylum's probably quick, but not many people do that one. Sunspire's not too bad. These three here, I mean, all these here take longer, I find, than these ones here. Yeah, but I mean, they all take a while. That's the thing, and they all take some time for you to get a group because you need 12 people for a typical trial run. You can get away with less in some cases, but it's easiest with 12 people. It'll go the quickest, so people usually group up for that. Now, what I'm going to do is just go through some basics on the 3 roles because you've got healer, tank, and then damage, right? So I think it's worth knowing just a couple things. So damage dealer is like the easy one because as long as you have a decent damage dealer setup, you can kind of just get away with just dealing damage. The other roles I find to be a bit more demanding on yourself. So this is like a typical damage dealer build I have. So I'm just running 2 damage sets, Well of the Depths and Venomous. Some, like, again, Order's Wrath. This is what I would use for damage dealing in PvE. It's like easy to use, easy to get, and quite strong. Julianos and Hunding's Rage for a crafted set for damage dealers for Magicka and Summoner, respectively. These can be good too. You've also got things like, for Magicka, you got Mother Sorrow, which is easy to get from Deshaan. You can usually just buy these from guild stores. Same thing with Venomous for Summoner. Venomous is good. Or you can get Brigands for some Armor Pen. That one's also easy to get because it comes from Bankrier. So yeah, it's a bunch of things you can get there for damage dealers. That's basic. I'll link a few websites in the description for PvE damage dealer builds too. I'll do the same for tank and healer, just so there's some sources of information that you can get. I think the tanking one is a bit outdated because it hasn't updated for subclassing, but most of the information is still pretty valid there. Though that's quite advanced. I think Tank Club's quite advanced. Yeah, I'll just go through some basics for tanking and healing anyway, right now. Alright, so tanking. Your number one, the one thing you must have as a tank is a taunt. If you don't have this, you're not a tank. You're just a tanky damage dealer. So I suggest having having Pierce Armor from the Sword and Ward skill line because it's really cheap. I think it's the cheapest taunt in the game. And also have a ranged taunt. For example, Frost Clinch over here. There's also in the Underwater skill line, you've got Inner Fire. And Fighter skill, you've also got Silver Leash, the morph of Silver Bolt. Pull abilities in this game now taunt enemies, so anything with a pull. So Dragonites with their chains as well, that's a taunt. Yeah, so these can be very valuable. The next important thing is just be very tanky and be able to heal yourself a lot. So have a lot of health, a lot of resistances, and have a lot of heals. So I have this Necromancer tank, for example. I've got Flesh, and then I've also got Scythe to get health back from attacking enemies, and then I've got Vigor, I've got Potency, which heals me. This heals me. Yeah, I've got a shit ton of stuff. And then you also want... Yeah, I've got resistances. I've got... and then I've got basically just got buffs for my team and debuffs for the enemy. So, yeah, that's basically it. Just the number one priority, have a taunt. Number 2 priority, keep yourself alive and keep yourself healed if you can. It's also important for your healers to also try and help you when they can. But yeah, sometimes they're quite busy. And yeah, the third thing and the least important thing is just buff people. It's important. It's much more important in vet, but yeah, just buffing people is just, yeah, if you can, do it. If not, just stay alive. Now the sets I use Crest of Cyrodiil, but this is a very expensive set. You can see, look at the fucking price of the chest piece. Yeah, oh my God, 500,000, what the fuck? Yeah, if you can't get the set, don't worry too much. It just basically you can just tank without a brain essentially with this because you just hold block and you just heal constantly. If I were you, look at something like Grace of Gloom, because this set just heals you every now and then also gives you major evasion, which is actually a pretty good buff for tanks. Seducer is fine because you use a lot of magicka when you're a tank, so having reduced magic cost is great. What else? Torix Pact is good too, because it basically just powers up your enchants, which on a tank you're usually running reduce armor and reduce weapon damage of enemy. So yeah, this can actually be pretty good. Twice one star for just 2 Wonder Stones could also be good. Wretched Vitality, it's okay, but you're basically always missing out on half of the recovery, because when you block, your stamina recovery is 0. So yeah, maybe try not to use that if you can. Telvanni's okay as well when you don't have a companion, because yeah, you just reduce your costs as well, so that could be pretty good. Yeah, honestly, anything more than that, I think it's like, if you just want to do normal trials, which is what you're trying to do, yeah, don't think you need to worry too much. Just get something that makes it easy for you, stuff like that. Adept Rider might actually be okay too, because movement speed is actually quite handy in as a tank, because when enemies, like, here's an example, right? Zamaja, the final boss of Cloudrest, which I think is the best, it's the quickest trial to do. Getting from one side of the area to the other when she teleports, you want to be able to do that quickly as a tank, and having a set that gives you movement speeds is useful for that, because she cleaves everything in front of her. So you want to, because like say it's like right here and she's cleaving you and everyone's behind. If she ports to the other side, she starts cleaving the rest of the group. So you need to be able to move and taunt and then turn her around again, and yeah, that takes time while you move, so being able to move fast in some cases can be really handy. For pulling adds together, stuff like that can be really handy. Last one is healing. So you have 2 priorities, or 2 requirements here to be a healer. One is to just make sure everybody stays alive, and then the second one is to buff people. So in a group, you want AoE heals, so basically everything from the Restoration skill line aside from Force Siphon is what I use. The 2 main ones you want to make sure you have is Healing Springs and then Combat Prayer. Combat Prayer gives everybody Minor Berserk, which is a pretty good buff. It's a damage done buff for everybody. So it's kind of expected that healers run this. So yeah, have everyone in front of you, heal them like that. Just stay a little bit inside the healing circle, and then just, yeah, Combat Prayer every now and then. If you can get either, there's another skill you really want to make sure you have. It's called Necrotic Orb. This here, the second part, the synergy, that's what you want. So when you get the Energy Orb version, which heals everybody, you can also get the synergy heals them and also gives them resources. So all versions give people resources, but yeah, the healing one's obviously what you want because you're a healer, right? Yeah, this can be really great for the group because it just keeps giving people resources, which is kind of what players need when they're dealing damage or tanking or whatever it is. Now there's one other option. If you have access to a Templar, or at least the Atrix Spear skill line in subclassing, this skill here, Spear Shards, is great, especially if you can morph it into Luminous Shards, because you give your tanks a better version of Necrotic Orb that stays still. This, I think, is like one of the best things for tanks. One of the greatest support skills that you can get for teammates, and everybody can use the same buff, like same synergy, so they can all go to it and use it at once. That's just, yeah, it's excellent. This. Now, once you're able to keep your team alive, because usually you'll do that and then you'll have a little bit of downtime while everybody's getting healed, you can also put like some support skills on the bar that will help deal damage and help your team deal damage. So things that give buffs like debuffs as well, like Mage Breach, things like that can really help. Elemental Drain, you want to make sure you have this too. I don't have it yet, but morph weakness to elements with a Destruction Staff, get Elemental Drain, and it gives people Magicka back, which is also really handy for both the tanks and the Magicka damage dealers. That's stuff I like to use too. Now, as for sets, if you can get your hands on it, get yourself a set of Spell Power Cure in the long run. This is one of the best, or one of the most used damage dealers, healer sets, because it just buffs your team with a powerful skill, a powerful buff, sorry. things. If you want an easy to use extra set to go alongside Spell Power Cure, Winter's Respite is what I use. It's just easy to get. You can get it from Western Skyrim or in guild stores for usually quite cheap. And yeah, it just does a heal proc on the ground when you use a AoE. And because you're usually using healing springs, or you can use things like Boneyard as a necromancer or whatever, anything with that creates like a circle AoE, that applies it. And yeah, it's pretty good. It's just sometimes people think it's a bad AoE and they run out of it. But yeah, it's just a issue with the communication more. If you don't have a set of Spell Power Cure, my advice is just be get Seducer and just reduce your costs. Or I don't think there's anything really I'd use. Serpent's Disdain. Yeah, and just run the what is it? Oh, I'm not running it. Am I really? Yes, this. So you can run Destructive Touch or Force Shock with the Elemental Force passive in Destruction Staff, and that will basically keep those 3 status effects applied, and they all can do really good stuff. Especially great if you have a Ice Staff and you can apply Minor Brittle, because where is it? I don't know where it actually tells you, but Ice Staves, when they apply a Chilled as a status effect, they apply Minor Brittle. So Serpent's Disdain with an Ice Staff can basically make it so you just constantly keep Minor Brittle applied, which is a great buff. Yes, things like that. But if you're just worried about doing a normal trial, just make sure you can heal people. Make sure you've got Healing Springs and Combat Prayer at least. And then basically you'll be able to keep people alive from that point. I really don't think there are many trials on normal where having more than this is required. I really don't think so. Even in things like Dread Sale, I don't think it's necessary. Yeah, just understand your teammates can be dumb. You put a heal down and then they run away. That is a thing that happens. There's not really much you can do when you gotta keep a whole team alive. Just focus on the group. Don't worry about the one person running away. Yeah, wow, this video is fucking an hour long already. Jesus Christ. Alright, look, I'm sorry, but I just don't have the time to properly do like every single thing related to these two here. If you have questions, just ask them. But yeah, I don't want this video taking fucking a million years, that's all. So yeah, I'll just leave it there. I'll make sure there's a lot of stuff in the description if you want to have a look. And yeah, like I said, ask me questions if you need, I'll answer you. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care for now. I'll see you next time. Appreciate the support and all that. Yeah. Peace out.